remember the day my dreams seemed too big for the world around me. I was just a girl from a small town, the kind of place where ambition was often met with raised eyebrows and dropped jaws. Fast forward to now, at 35, I am a senior bank executive in the heart of New York City, where the skyline is a testament to dreams that dared to be realized. My office overlooks the bustling streets, yet my ambition remains hidden beneath the surface, simmering as I navigate the complex waters of finance. On the outside, I wear confidence like a tailored suit, but inside, I grapple with family drama that threatens to unravel the threads of my carefully woven life. My parents, who once disapproved of my career aspirations, now sit in judgment at family gatherings, their pride mingled with condescension. Yet, little do they know that their rejection fueled my fire, pushing me to rise higher. Love, too, has played its twisted part in my story, a bittersweet melody that lingers in the corners of my heart. I once thought I had it all figured out when a charming man proposed to me on a rooftop, the city lights twinkling like stars in the night sky. But just as quickly as the spark ignited, it was snuffed out when he called off the wedding, leaving me standing alone, a shattered vision of what could have been. The betrayal cut deep, yet it also illuminated a truth I had long buried beneath the weight of expectations. I was not merely a player in someone else's story. I was the architect of my destiny. That realization sparked a fire within me, a resolve to rise from the ashes of heartbreak and betrayal. I threw myself into work, my emotions channeled into each deal I brokered and every strategy I crafted. Each success became an act of defiance against the man who had doubted me and turned his back when I needed him most. I climbed the ladder of success, but I knew I could not bask in the glow of triumph without addressing the shadows lurking in my past. I yearned for justice, not just for myself, but for every moment when a voice like mine was silenced, every time my worth was questioned. If you love Helena's journey, like and subscribe to join her next chapter. My parents, who once cast me aside for daring to dream bigger than their expectations, now found themselves in need of my guidance. They approached me with a mixture of regret and desperation that felt almost poetic. They begged for advice on managing their meager savings, their voices tinged with a humility I had never expected. I could feel the weight of their past judgment pressing down on me. But instead of resentment, I felt a strange sense of power rising within. Here I was, a successful executive in a world they could barely comprehend, offering advice to the very people who had once condemned my ambition. It was a moment of reckoning, a time to decide whether to extend my hand or let their pride drown them. I chose to show them the ropes of managing their finances, using it as an opportunity to teach them that ambition was not something to fear but to embrace. Each lesson I imparted became a step towards healing the rift between us, a chance to redefine our relationship on my terms. As I stood before them, I realized that my journey was not just about personal victory, but also about breaking the cycle of judgment and misunderstanding. I had transformed what could have been a bitter division into an opportunity for reconciliation. But life has a way of throwing curveballs, and just when I thought I had everything sorted out, my ex reappeared, a ghost from my past haunting my present. He sought to manipulate, to rekindle that which had been lost, believing that charm could mend the wounds he had inflicted. Yet I was no longer the woman who clung to dreams of love. I had emerged as a force to be reckoned with. I saw through his pleas, the broken promises that slipped from his lips like silk threads woven with deceit. I refused to be ensnared by the past. Instead, I made a bold choice. I decided to confront him, to allow him to see the powerful woman I had become, not a mere reflection of his desires, but a beacon of my own ambition. It was there, in that moment of reckoning, where the echoes of my family's concerns faded into the background, replaced by the strength of my resolve. I told him he would have to earn my trust back, and that would require him to work hard, not just for me, but for his own redemption. I was no longer a pawn in someone else's game. I had become the queen, ready to protect my kingdom. The confrontation was raw and charged with emotion, a release of all the pent-up betrayal I had endured. I walked away from that encounter, knowing I would not look back. Suddenly, my parents, now empowered by my lessons, began their own journey to financial independence. They took control of their lives, just as I had transformed mine. Together, we evolved from a fractured family into a united front, each of us armed with the tools to create our own destiny. I was amazed by how quickly they adapted, their minds opening to new ideas and possibilities. I realized that the power of ambition could heal wounds that once seemed irreparable. In this new chapter, I found something more profound than the fleeting satisfaction of revenge. I discovered the joy of empowerment, justice served not with bitterness, but with compassion. No longer were we three separate individuals caught in an endless cycle of resentment. We became a family bonded by understanding and respect. My ex, who once doubted my ambition, now saw me flourish from afar. But the chasm between us was insurmountable. I had taken back control of my life, and through every success, he was reminded that love, when twisted by betrayal, can inspire even the strongest to rise. My journey was not merely about climbing the corporate ladder. It was about reclaiming my voice, my worth, and ultimately, my family. Now, as I look out over the New York skyline from my office, my heart swells with pride. I am Helena Montez, a woman shaped by betrayal, but transformed by ambition. I am here to tell the world that justice does not always wear a bold face. Sometimes it whispers gently through the bonds of family, urging us toward a brighter future. Every scar has a story, and I wear mine like armor, ready for whatever comes next in this unpredictable journey of life. Join me again as I continue to navigate the world of finance, ambition, and family. The story is still unfolding, and I am ready to embrace every chapter.